Welcome to this week's Read the Bible Story Together session. We are reading this week from the Gospel of John, chapter 20, verses 19 through 31, and a story about Thomas. We call him Doubting Thomas because he doesn't actually believe what he is seeing at first, or more to the point, he doesn't actually believe what he's being told by the other disciples about Jesus coming to see them until he sees for himself. So the story is about how do we believe in what we can't see. So please listen and follow along. We are reading from the SparkStory Bible from SparkHouse Publishing, of course, and the story is Doubting Thomas. The disciples were hiding in a house the night Jesus rose from the dead. They were afraid. Bam! They locked all the doors. Jesus came and stood by them. "Peace be with you," he said. The disciples looked up in surprise. Jesus showed them his hands and his side so that they would know it was him. Because if you remember, he has nail marks in his hands, and the soldier had pierced his side so that the scriptures would be fulfilled and so that this could happen, and the disciples could believe what they are seeing. So as the disciples saw his hands and his side, they were very happy. Again, Jesus said to them, "Peace be with you. God has sent me to you. Now it's your turn to go tell the rest of the world about me." Jesus breathed on them in a very special way, and he said, "With this breath, I will always be in your hearts, even when I am in heaven. You now have the power to do the things I've asked you to do." Thomas was the only disciple not there that night. When he got back, the others excitedly told him about Jesus' visit. And you can see Thomas there in the center in the dark hair, listening to how excited the disciples are about seeing Jesus again. He's not quite certain what he's hearing and what to think about it. "I don't believe you," Thomas said. "I'll believe when I can touch Jesus' wounds." A week later, Thomas and the other disciples were in the same house. Jesus came again and stood with them. "Peace be with you," he said to them. "Thomas," Jesus commanded, "come here. Give me your hands. Put your finger on the wounds in my hand. Put your hand by the wound in my side. Don't doubt anymore. It's time for you to believe." Thomas's eyes popped. "My Lord and my God," he exclaimed. Jesus answered him, "You believe because I am here with you and you have seen me. Think of all of those who have not yet seen me, but believe in me anyway. You should believe even when you cannot see it for yourself." And there you can see Thomas and Jesus showing him the wound in his hand, and now he believes. So think of a time that you've been afraid, where you have prayed for help, for comfort, for peace, and think about how you felt Jesus with you in those moments. And talk about that with your family and friends this week.